Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Pham. I'm just trying something else new today where it's just going to be the audio, seeing how that goes. Let me know if you guys like it. So today we have my friend Matthew on the line and we will be talking about phones and tech. So just so you know, we're no experts in this area. It's just our opinions and whatnot. Yeah, so Matthew, how you been?
Not bad. How are you? How have you been doing?
I'm good. Honestly, dude, this week has been tough. I've literally just been so unmotivated to do anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, work-wise or, like, just in general?
I mean, I don't even have any work anymore because I'm not in school, right?
Oh, yeah, I forgot my bad.
Nah, nah. It's like just working out or doing my Norwegian lessons, all that stuff.
Norwegian lessons. How's that going?
It's actually easy, dude. Like I didn't expect it to be that easy, but it's because there's no accents or anything. I just
Oh,
have
really?
some trouble with pronunciation and all that stuff.
That sounds like it's gonna be hard. Can you say something in Norwegian?
You want me to say something in Norwegian?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me take out my book. Oh, my favorite. This is what I always. So I'll just do like Hi, jeg heter Long. Jeg bor i Canada. So that's just like hi, my name is Long. I live in Canada.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah? Okay.
I always say like "Hva gjør du," which means what are you doing?
Okay.
I mean, like like I don't think you and I've worked that much, but if you're ever at work and you hear me go like, "What are you doing?" That's literally I literally had to learn that Norwegian. That way, when I yell at Zoe, I can just be like, "Hva gjør du?"
It's so much faster that way.
I know. Oh man, and then yeah, I just been like, I have a journal where I just write down all the lessons that I've been doing and all that.
Okay. How
Yeah,
are you
but
doing as an app that you're using? Or
no, I'm literally just using Duolingo.
oh, nice.
Yeah, but
Don't miss your lessons.
huh?
Don't miss your lessons.
I know I shouldn't. But how are you? How is school going for you?
I was just super busy right now. Just a lot going on.
Yeah, thanks for
And
taking time out of your day and
no,
doing this
don't worry
quick
about it.
little episode.
Anytime for you, Long.
Thank you. Always choose long.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because I mean like for university it was pretty easy just because all the profs did were post things online and I just had to read over the slides and do assignments and whatnot, right? But
Yeah.
and all my exams were even online too. But how's it like for university during this time?
Um, so right now I've already gotten my acceptance and stuff. I got it back in like October or whatever, November.
Yes,
So it's
yes, right. Hi. I mean,
right.
are you fam?
Are you always?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's just a matter of like maintaining the marks I have at this point. And like it's not really as stressful as it would be like in school, but I just have more work than I would be getting as if I was in school. It's almost like double the work.
Okay, okay. And like
Mm.
I think I already asked you this, but
Yeah,
you don't get like slides posted, right?
I do,
Oh,
but like my teacher's slides are like glitchy and like
uh,
never like post properly, so it's always me just learning from textbook.
yeah. And honestly, that's literally in university. You always just kind of learn on your own.
Yeah, so it's a good like way to practice, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. But obviously, in university, you'll have the professor lecture at you and all that too.
Yeah, which will be a big help.
Yes, yes. Okay. And then, how's your phone doing? Or is it still on life support?
It's still on life support. I don't know how long it's going to be able to go for like this podcast,
Oh my
but
god.
I'll try and make it last.
Okay, so just giving the listeners some context. Matthew
Yeah.
has an iPhone 7,
Hmm.
and it has to be plugged in 24/7 in order to work.
Yeah.
That's basically the gist of it. And that brings us to today's topic, transition. That's so good.
Oh, cool transition.
Yes, thank you. Where we're literally just gonna be talking about phones and tech, and uh, throughout the like last month or so, Matthew and I were literally just exchanging text messages, talking about different types of phone and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then had really high hopes for the OnePlus 8 and the OnePlus 8 Pro, and it did not disappoint. But the price tag on that, dude.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't know if I'd go with a OnePlus just because of the price, but it looks so cool
It looks
that
so
I don't know.
cool.
I could
Yeah.
probably justify that.
Yeah, like all the hardware and software are flagship stuff now, you know?
Yeah, so it's just a different option
Hmm.
other than from like Samsung
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like any other.
honestly. And then it, like, arguably, I mean, this episode is being recorded May, in what's, I don't even know what the date it is. May
May
9th?
9th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this episode is being recorded May 9th. OnePlus released the OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro in April 22nd or whatever, something like that. And then literally 2 days later, Apple releases the SE.
Mhm.
It's the SE 2020. Let's just distinguish it like that. But from here on out, we'll just refer to the SE, and that's literally just a what $600 phone with an iPhone 8 body, but with the internals of an iPhone 11.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
and hmm?
oh, sorry.
No,
Sorry,
go
go
go.
on.
No, you
Oh,
go, you
no.
go.
Yeah, it's got the A13 Bionic chip, which is basically what like the iPhone 11, 11 Pro, and 11 Pro Max are all running. So you get like your internals, but like you get 3 gigabytes of RAM instead of the 4 that you get on
Hmm.
those.
Yeah, and but like it's appealing because like I'm an Android user now. I after 5 or so years in the ecosystem, I decided to leave. And
Yeah,
when when Apple dropped that, and I saw and I compared it to, I'm like, damn. I see why this would be intriguing to go back to Apple because obviously, this day and age, the economy is kind of going downhill, and none of us are really working. Or sorry, not none of us, but most of us aren't working, especially if you know you're not an essential worker, right?
yeah,
So, and if you're in that case, you also need the a new phone. Yeah,
yes,
Apple. Yeah, yeah. Like the budget friendly phones are all obviously wallet friendly and very appealing to those who want to save money and stuff.
yes,
Yeah, and uh, I think you told me already, but you're gonna plan to stay in the ecosystem, right?
yes. Sadly, because I have so many like friends, family who like I can't really talk to other than on like FaceTime or like iMessages and stuff. Because if I don't like iMessage them, it's gonna be long distance. I know there's apps like WhatsApp and like Instagram DMs that can like get around those problems, but um, I just find iMessage to be a lot smoother and a lot easier to use.
Yeah, and like so again, for those who don't know what the Apple ecosystem is, the brief description is literally all Apple products can interact with one another and work like I guess almost symbiotically. I don't even know if I'm using that word right.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, basically, all the features on an iPhone, Mac, AirPods, and Apple Watch, all of that interacts with one another to make it like cohesive and interactive. That's why it's called an ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I totally agree with you. When I was planning to like 2017 when the Pixel 2 came out, uh,
Mhm.
when I was debating whether or not I should leave the ecosystem, I what was it? I literally, because all I had was the iPhone, right? I didn't have a Mac, I didn't have the Apple Watch or whatever, and
Yeah.
the appeal of iMessage was enough to make me doubt leaving the system because you're right, like it's so much easier if because the majority of my family as well has iPhone, so it'd be easier just to contact them over Wi-Fi or internet, right?
Yeah.
And you mentioned like WhatsApp and Instagram and all that, but that would also
Yeah.
require them downloading the app, and then you and him would both have to use the app. But like for iMessage, you have an iPhone, then you're good. You have iMessage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then luckily though, like I didn't have that many hooks in me, so I didn't have to stay in the ecosystem because I had an HP at the time. I have a Surface Go right now too,
Mhm.
and then yeah.
Yeah. Right now, I have the MacBook Pro from last year, I guess,
Hmm.
and that's kind of like keeping me in the ecosystem. Probably shouldn't have made that like purchase, but I don't know. It's
So
treating me well right now,
uh,
especially with online classes. So
yeah, that's true. And like your sister's to blame for that.
yeah.
No, we're kidding, we're kidding.
Oh
Uh,
no.
but yes, so I know, like I guess like I'm trying to think of other budget-friendly phones that Apple released, and I think the 5C was one of them. That was literally my first iPhone.
Yeah.
Uh, the 5C back in what 2012 ish.
Yeah. Something like
Yeah,
that.
something around that area. Yeah,
It was
2000.
a long time ago.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know. I rocked that phone for like 2 years too.
It lasted 2 years.
Yeah, it
Oh my.
lasted me like maybe 2.5 years, and then my sister upgraded to an iPhone 7, and she gave me her 5S, So I upgraded to a 5S, which is not really an upgrade if I'm being honest with you, because it's already been 2 years.
Yeah.
But then luckily I ended up getting the SE, and then I rocked that for another 2-3 years before transitioning to the Google Pixel 2 XL.
Yeah, which is also a very good phone.
Yeah, I mean it's been 3 years, still running well for me too. But yes, budget-friendly phones that Apple's released were like I off the top of my head the 5C, the iPhone XR, like the cheap plastic one. I wouldn't say cheap. I mean like still, I guess
It's
it's
still high end, but
still
like
high
it's
end,
just
but
not
a bit more.
as high end.
Yeah, one of the more affordable high-end phones.
Yeah.
And then now the iPhone SE 2020 version.
Yeah.
And then obviously like with Apple, there's a lot more. There's sorry, not a lot more. There's actually a lot less options just because it's Apple, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not
There's
like
only one company making the phones.
exactly.
For you.
It's not like Android where like so many different companies are making phones, and because of that, there's also more of the budget friendly phones.
Yeah, and they can kind of like tailor it for the kind of like ecosystems and like what I mean like demographics. So like they're gonna make different phones for like India where they have less like money, so there's gonna be more options for them. Where they can afford to buy phones for those people who maybe don't have as much money as people like in North America, where there's like I don't know, a minimum wage where you can probably afford a little bit higher end of a phone. Not necessarily if you're working minimum wage, but you know
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like if you're like depends on the strength of the economy as well, but basically, with Android, since it's I think it's called open source. I'm not sure. Again, we're like you and I aren't really like tech professionals. We're just literally
Or experts.
We're experts.
We're just talking about it.
Yeah, we're just talking about it. Just talk about it. It's like basically since Android is open source, so many companies can use it, and people can use that same operation software to make phones. I know I listed you a couple phones for like budget Android phones. Pixel 3a was there. Some Xiaomi phones. The OnePlus 7T is still available in Canada, and that's like a $700 phone, so it's kind of in the upper mid-range price area. But yeah,
what else was there? Was there anything else? Was it like the Redmi's? Oh,
yeah, Redmi, or like RK20, and I mean, if you really want to get to like a good budget phone, but it's a bit more pricey. Obviously, the Samsung S10e is also there.
Yeah, that's kind of like competing with like the iPhone 10R.
Oh yeah,
and like the OnePlus 8 now is at that point.
Yeah, and then obviously OnePlus, no longer the flagship killer. Now the flagship. Yeah, it kind of sucks to see that. I mean, obviously in the tech world and competition, you need to be high end and up to date with specs in order to be relevant, right?
Yeah, and then that comes with a price tag, right? So it's kind of hard. So yeah, that's why they kind of had to become like that flagship, because over the past couple of years, their prices have been going up and up.
Yeah,
and like flagships have been staying relatively like closer to the like $1,000 mark.
Oh yeah,
like for the last like 5 years, 4 years, I'd say, and then they just kept catching up. So I guess it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, like even before I got the Pixel 2, I was debating between that one or the 5T, and literally it was like a $500 price difference because the 5T at the time was around 500 and the Pixel was around 1,000. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so in 3 years, 3 years it goes to show how much of a jump OnePlus had to do. And then with the like phones nowadays, they do range, like the flagships are still around 1,000. Some are closer to 1,500 to 2,000, and that's just wild, man.
Yeah. Yes. Especially if you look at like the Galaxy S20, that thing can go for like $2,000. That's a lot of money for a phone.
That is a lot of money for a phone, yeah. And okay, so yeah, sorry, we kind of went a bit
on a tangent.
And off track, but we're gonna go back to your situation right now.
My situation, all right.
Your phone basically has to be plugged in the entire time.
Yes.
Yes.
Like and right now, it's basically a microwave, and it's just on a phone call.
Oh, geez. Oh, okay. I'll save that for later. I'm gonna write that down because I actually do something. I thought it was a unique way to deal with like overheating phones, but apparently it's weird and no one else does it.
Mhm.
But okay, we'll bring that back later. But um, yeah. So and you're staying in the ecosystem, and I obviously said maybe you should get the SE because you're paying out of pocket, right? You're not gonna like upgrade or anything, are you?
No, no, it's gonna be out of pocket. So
Mm-hmm.
at this point, I'm just looking at like Best Buy, like open box, and see what I can get, like for like a lower price. And open box is like from my research is gonna save me like around like $100 to $250. So
Yeah. Where
I
would
think
you?
that might be the way to go if you want to
Mm,
go with something other than the SC.
yeah. Where would you buy open box? So like just online on.
They sell it from Best Buy like themselves,
Oh,
which is
okay.
what I would do. But then they also have marketplace sellers that sell it for cheaper,
I see. I
and I
see.
wouldn't. I'm not going to touch that.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
That's a little sketchy.
Yeah. Like I won't lie to you. Before I got a phone, I like because there's a. I think you and I live around in the same area, but you know the flea market on Old Western Road.
Oh, Weston, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, wow, back in the day when I was younger,
back in
uh,
my day.
back in
You're
my
an old
day
man.
when I was in elementary school, literally, I just kind of spend the weekend there, just because, like, it's a flea market. There's different types of stores and stuff.
Yeah,
They also have really good bubble tea. I'm not sure if that place is there anymore though.
I think they closed that place down.
No, they actually had good bubble tea there. Nah,
Oh well, you gotta go to Nations now.
no, I make my own now.
Make your own.
I do make my own.
You rely on yourself now.
Okay, sorry. We're gonna stick to it. Yes. So, uh, open box going to Best Buy and all that. That's a good idea, actually. Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't go on eBay or like Amazon because you don't know where it's coming from.
that is
But at
true.
least Best Buy, it might have only been like someone who opened it and they're like, nah, it's too expensive for me. Just return it, and you get to save money on it. So
Yeah,
you never know though.
and you've been
With open
keeping
box.
you've been keeping an eye on that, right? Like just seeing what's available on Best Buy and all that.
Yeah, like I haven't had like my eyes set on anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of like deciding like what's best for me and what I want, and then deciding. But I still see the SE as like a viable option.
Yeah, and like,
But I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, and like, I would recommend it. Like, I see the appeal in it, and obviously it targets like people like myself and just like wanting to save money, but also having a pretty good software in it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be like supported for the next 5 years, so it's not like you're gonna buy it and it's just gonna be like done. But I don't think the one problem I have with it is the battery life. The battery, like, it's not gonna last you very long, and it's basically the same thing. Like when it comes to like my iPhone 7, it's got basically the same battery, and at this point I've had it for like 2.5 years, and it's already like on life support. So I don't know. That's the one thing like keeping me from the SE right now.
Okay, honestly, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I think battery is a very important part of a phone because it's what makes the phone run. But if you could take good care of your battery, you should be good. And like for example, because when I got my phone, right, I would always charge it from like 20 to 100%. But then after doing some research, I learned that you should never charge your phone to 100%. Like ideally, and this is gonna sound weird, but ideally, you should charge your phone when it reaches 50% and charge it up to maximum 65% in order to keep your battery at a healthy rate for a longer time.
I heard the opposite though.
Really?
I heard like let it get almost to the bottom or like almost empty, just so you can get your full cycle in.
No, no, no.
Like
So,
because batteries have full cycles, right?
yeah, I did not hear that. If I'm being honest with you, I've heard, and this is what I do, and I heard this too before. But obviously, never let your battery die. But you can let your battery go to 20% and then charge it up to 60 to 80%. So
Okay.
so like 20 to 80%, right, would be what you should charge to, and that's what I usually do. And if you think of it like this, okay, because every time you charge your battery, like your like the battery, right, the lithium ion battery,
Yeah.
like every time it reaches 100%, it gets okay. Someone put it. Okay, wait, time out, time out. Let me think how I'm gonna phrase this.
Time out. Okay.
So imagine an empty car, like an empty four-door, five-seater car as your battery, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna be piling people into that car.
Yeah.
When it's empty, it's easier to pile people in, but the more people gets filled into the car, and the more you're putting in, it's going to get harder and harder to squeeze in, right?
Yeah.
So basically, ideally, what you want to do is rather than like having the car fully packed, which is like having the battery at 100%, you should just like ease off and let it basically not charge to 100%, not fully stuff the car with people.
Okay.
Does that make
That makes
sense?
sense. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like I've never really heard of like an analogy like that before, but
Okay.
that makes sense.
Or
That
like,
works.
or like, think of it like you're eating on an empty stomach. Like
Yeah.
you can only eat so much, and if you keep eating and eating and eating, like so eating is like charging your phone to 100 and then leaving it overnight or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like to the point, if you keep eating and eating, you're gonna throw up from like being too full. And that's
Yeah.
literally and like I've never gotten to that point in the of eating too much or overcharging my phone. I actually have overcharged my phone twice this week, which is bad.
Yeah.
But basically, if you're eating too much, you're gonna get full fat. You're gonna get full, obviously, and then if you keep eating, you're gonna throw up. So basically, what I'm saying is, if you charge your phone to 100%, your battery is just gonna get more damaged, and especially if you charge it overnight, which I know a lot of people do.
Yeah, I do that. I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, no, literally, man. Like, because I'll play and watch videos on my phone until it reaches 20%, and then I go like, one more video, and then one more video becomes another one, and then it ends up draining to like 5%. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it a quick charge so that way it won't fully die on me, because letting it fully die also is bad for the battery apparently. That's basic. I guess going back to my food analogy, that would be
Starving.
that would be you dying of starvation. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really dug a hole with that one, so I just kept sticking to it. Okay, so
Yeah.
so basically, yeah, I would charge it, and then I would be like, okay, I'll give it 10 minutes, and then I'll unplug it, and then I just fall asleep, and I'm like, and then I wake up with 100% battery. I'm like, shit, I messed up.
Yeah.
I've been a bit better now, but
That's okay.
Yeah,
You know what? Long, you're getting a new phone relatively soon.
relatively soon. I have no idea when though.
Yeah. As long as you can have it at like
Mhm.
the level where you can just plug in a portable charger every
Yeah,
so often. then you're
Exactly.
fine.
Okay, so yes, we're gonna go back. So yeah, battery life, yes, it is important, but obviously, if you take care of your phone, it will last you. So
Yeah, that's debatable though, because it's kind of hard, like to always like be on top, like you said, charging your phone
yeah,
and like doing it responsibly, the way you say.
yeah. So like basically, the takeaway of that full tangent was don't charge your phone overnight. Try not to charge it up to 100%.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So I know, and then your phone is obviously still dying. It's on its last limbs there, and
Yeah.
do you think it will last until October? Because that's usually when the companies release all their flagship phones. You know, I know the iPhone 12 is coming out, Pixel 5 is coming out.
Yeah. Like honestly, right now I'm just like crossing my fingers and hoping like for the best, because at this point, or a couple weeks ago, I didn't think it would last 2 weeks. Now that was
I
like a
remember
month
that.
ago, right?
Yeah.
And now it's like still going barely, but like it's
Wow,
still
how
hanging
time
on. So I'm
flies, man.
hoping it'll last.
Yeah, time flew, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
And then yeah, so that's good that that it's still lasting. Hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring this back because you said after like we've been talking for about 24 minutes now, and your phone is like real. Is it real? How hot is it?
Right now?
Yeah.
Right now it's kind of warm. It's like it's like you've been watching like Netflix for like an hour.
Okay.
Like with a good
all
phone,
right.
or like an hour and a half
Yeah.
with a good phone.
Yeah. Also, you shouldn't be watching while you charge your phone. Like when you charge your phone, make sure it's idle. You know.
Yeah, like especially with the 7 or like the newer phones, you don't have the headphone jack and the charge, the charge port, so it's kind of hard to do that
Yeah.
nowadays.
So it's weird because every time if I'm charging my phone or if I'm playing on it and it overheats, what I do to cool it down, and this is gonna sound it does sound weird when I say it out loud now, but I literally grab one of those ice packs and literally just put my phone on top of the ice pack.
Really?
Yeah. and it's cold. And then like after a couple minutes, it's cold to the touch.
Yeah, which isn't good for your battery either. But
Yeah, that is true. But like, obviously, when your phone overheats, it doesn't run as well, right?
no, yeah,
Yeah. So then I figured that if it's overheating, it's not good. So if it's a bit colder, it should be fine.
yeah.
Yeah, and then
That's. Oh,
I
sorry.
mean that's a unique way of like of a cooling system for your phone because obviously every phone has a different type of cooling system in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw on like Linus Tech, they literally had a water cooling system for your phone, but the way they did the one they got was literally it was like this big pump and then you got to fill it with water and then you got to attach the coil to the back of the phone with a zip tie. It was a mess, but you
Yeah.
know so I'm like maybe the way I'm doing it is a bit more
Not
simple.
sustainable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who wants to carry that around? Like, you need to have a certain
Hmm.
amount of water to, like, drain out, like, or to absorb the amount of energy
Hmm.
that's, like, being outputted by the battery. So,
Yeah, and I
yeah,
know,
that's,
and in the OnePlus system, in the OnePlus phones, they also have like quote like you can't see it, but I'm doing air quotes like water cooling stuff where literally in like copper, what is it, in like copper sheets or
coils.
whatever, there's like little notches and then there's like driplets of water to help cool it, I guess.
Oh, really? I never heard of that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds
So
cool.
like Jerry rigs everything. You like he literally when he does the teardowns, he'll take the copper from under the screen and literally rip it open. And he'll like, yeah, there's like drops of water in it, and like that's why they say there's like liquid cooling in their phones.
Yeah. I've
Hmm.
never heard of that, but that sounds really cool for, like,
Yeah.
a cell phone. I've heard of it in, like, gaming PCs and, like, when you build your own PCs and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, those are expensive than PCs, dude. Like I was looking
Yeah.
into it, I'm like, no, I have like 4 fans in my PCs. I think that's good enough.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's fine. You'll
Yeah.
be okay.
Hmm. But yeah, so my running theory slash hypothesis was if your phone overheats, it's bad. So you should cool it down with a ice pack.
Oh, a
It's
couple years.
it's
Oh,
okay.
sorry.
I mean, like it's been running okay. It's been doing well.
Yeah, especially like that doesn't really help. Like, once your phone gets to a certain point. Like, a couple
Yeah.
years ago, I had a 5S,
Hmm.
and it was like winter. It was a couple years ago. It was like a really cold winter we had, and I was outside waiting for the bus, and my phone overheated, and it was -40 outside.
Oh,
It
yikes!
overheated. Like, I got the notification. Like, my whole phone like went black, and then I got the battery or the notification. Your phone is overheating or whatever. Like, just like
Dang, eh?
stop using it. Pardon me?
Dang.
Yeah, it was like January. I was like, oh shoot, and then it bricked a week later.
Jeez. Wow. That's. I mean, that can be a topic for another day of how the climate's changed so much. But yeah, that's wild. Your phone overheating at -40 Celsius too.
Not -40 Celsius. It was
Oh,
like -30, something like that. But it was
negative
really
30
cold.
Celsius. Yeah, I mean, well, wind chill.
Yeah, it's very cold.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think. Is there anything else about phones? You know what?
Um,
We'll talk about something else. But okay, so one thing about Apple, and like this is why this is also a reason why I left the system was because and this they've even said it, but they slow down older phones with
yeah,
software updates and all that. And the excuse that they gave was because they wanted to preserve the battery. So because on older phones, if you're running a higher like the newest software update, it's going to drain your battery a bit more.
yeah,
So their reasoning for slowing down older phones was to make sure the battery lasts. But let's be honest here. I mean, given that Apple's a company that releases phones every year, they just want to make money.
yeah. That's how every company is at this point. So
Yeah, that's true.
everyone wants to make money. No one
Hmm.
wants to like do what's best for the customer.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it's just I don't know, and I'm not sure if they ended up like Apple if they ended up paying the lawsuits or whatever, but it's just like they got sued for it. It was a whole big thing. I'm not sure if it's still a thing. I think it might be.
It was a couple of months ago. I don't remember that
Yeah,
like exactly what happened, but I heard
and
about it.
And you know what? While we're on the topic of Apple and not being good for customers, if you did, I hope you saw, but they released like $700 wheels.
Wheels?
Yeah, like Apple wheels.
Oh yeah, for the computer or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, and
The Mac
literally,
Pro.
and like, and this feeds into promoting them. But basically, I believe they only did that for publicity.
Yeah.
Because like you and I are talking about right now, there's so many other tech YouTubers that talked about it too, and people wrote articles comparing how the wheels were literally a more expensive or as expensive as their newest iPhone SE.
Yeah.
And that's just
That's crazy.
that's crazy. Like $700 for wheels.
Well, it's not like a car. Like, and
Yeah.
with $700, you can get some pretty decent tires for your car. So
I'm not much of a car guy, but I'll take yes. I assume you could.
me neither. But like, I know like tires can go for a lot. Like definitely more than $700. But for a computer, come on.
Come on, man. Like not even computers. These are just like wheels that you can put on anything, which is like, I guess that it makes them more versatile, but still.
Jeez.
Yeah. Like if you think of it in terms of working, right? That's like.
How many hours?
Oh my god! Ah, shit! I put myself in a predicament here.
Yeah, you did.
I can't calculate. 700. Okay, hold on. 700 divided by like 15. That's like 46 hours of work. That's like 47 hours of work just for two sets of wheels.
Holy crap.
Jeez, that's literally 2 weeks worth of work for like part-time people.
Yeah, that's not anything I'd want to spend $700 on.
Yeah. Okay. I thought we'd just get that out there. But okay, we're going to transition very roughly into what would your ideal phone look like?
Okay.
The build, software, you can have budget even. Obviously, budget, if the more features you put in there, the stuff.
Harder it is to make it budget, but
yeah.
I don't know. Like, honest, like this is all personal preference. I want to hear
obviously.
what you have to say too.
Yeah.
First and foremost, like I said before, it's gonna be like a good battery,
Mm-hmm.
so, like a long-lasting battery. I wouldn't want like a huge display. Probably about like 5.5 inches to 6 max. Maybe like 6 max. Like I wouldn't want to go bigger than that.
Yeah.
And then maybe an OLED screen, like almost like almost like a mixture between like the OnePlus 8 screen and like that iPhone, like I don't know, 10s or like the 10s like screen, like mixture in between them.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't mind like for the camera cutout to be like either a teardrop, like just to keep costs down. Like I don't mind the teardrop. I'd rather that than the hole punch.
Yeah.
I'd want like iOS. I prefer iOS over Android personally, but you can go either way depending on like what your preferences are.
Yeah.
And other than that, like I guess I don't know, whatever specs you can get that'll help like make the phone last for a couple of years. I guess if you can do that and keep it budget, I'd want that to be like a budget phone. But already with like the OLED screen, that's probably hard to make budget.
Yeah. Honestly, most of it I agree with you. Like a good battery, something that would last you actually like all day for usage. Like I know some of the phones that are out now, they have like batteries that can last them 4 or 5 hours of screen on time, which is a lot if you think about it. Yeah, like maybe 4 or 5 hours out of your day isn't a lot, but screen on time for phones, that's pretty good. Yes, OLED display screen was nice too. Yeah, so I agree with you with the battery, the stuff, and the screen. I also would prefer it if you're able to use the phone one-handedly.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of wanted a smaller phone.
Yeah. Like right now, honestly, when I transitioned from the SE to the Pixel 2 XL, that was a big transition. Like that was like a 4-inch screen or whatever to a 6-inch screen. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. It's hard to go from that.
Personally, though, I would prefer the Android software just because I'm so used to it now too.
Yeah.
Plus, you get a bit more customizability with it. Obviously, like if you and I are making the ideal phone, an iOS with customization would be nice.
Yes, that would
Yes.
be like as like probably as good as you can get.
Yeah. So like that, I would. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I would agree with you. iOS with customization, that would be like ideal.
I never even
Or
thought of that.
or Android with like the Apple ecosystem.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that, like iMessage or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously there are some apps that let you link your phone to your computer and whatnot, but like that's you're relying through a third party. Whereas in Apple ecosystem, you just do it by one account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. Like that makes sense.
Okay. So yeah, that was like a quick little segment. I'm glad we kind of got that out of the way. So I
That was
noticed
a cool
how
segment.
you and I both didn't mention a headphone jack, and apparently that's a big thing for a lot of people.
Honestly, I don't see like a huge deal about it now
Mm-hmm.
because it's been so long since
Since
like Apple, for example, took out the headphone jack with the
exactly,
iPhone 7 like 4 years ago,
yeah,
3 years ago, whenever it was, and now everyone else started doing it, and like it's not a huge deal anymore, especially with like Bluetooth earbuds coming out and becoming popular now. So
yeah, and like again, back 3 years ago when I was debating between getting the Pixel or the OnePlus, the headphone jack, even in my opinion, was like a big thing because I'm like, damn, headphone jack versus no headphone jack, right? But then I ended up getting the Pixel, and I'm like, okay, I just got Bluetooth headphones, and literally I don't see the difference. I'm just like, okay, whatever. There's no headphone jack. I prefer Bluetooth too, just because you're not like what is it? You're not tied down to your phone and your headphone. You can move your head freely, obviously.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, you don't have to necessarily be close
hmm
to your phone either. You can leave your phone like in your locker at the gym. You have your Bluetooth headphones in, and like that just helps you out a lot. Like when it
hmm
comes to like yeah,
Security and all that.
security. Yeah,
Yeah. And okay, and I know especially OnePlus, they've been getting like criticism for this, and a lot of people who post like why you should buy the phone, why you shouldn't buy the phone. A lot of it's like no headphone jack, but that's a lot for other phones. But one thing for OnePlus is literally no IPS rating. And
yeah,
I get it, like I get why OnePlus didn't do it before because obviously when you do IPS rating, you have to pay for each individual unit to be tested.
yeah.
But you also know like not, this day and age most of these phones are going to have some sort of water
Water.
resilience or waterproofing, right?
Yeah, they'd say it was water resistant. They just didn't pay to like get it tested and stuff, so
Yeah,
it kind of saved like their customers some money. But
exactly. And like I know a lot of tech tubers. I don't even know why I said tech tubers, but a lot of tech people are like, "Don't get the OnePlus. There's no headphone jack. There's no water IPS rating." I'm like, listen, man. We all know they're gonna do some sort of it. They just don't get it paid.
mhm. Like we don't go through as many phones as they do. I guess like can become
Nah,
more picky,
that
but
is
like
true. I guess.
the
Yeah.
average Joe like us, we get a phone, we like keep it for a couple like 2 to 5 years or whatever, depending on if you get a long lasting one.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
so they go through a lot more. They go through like I don't even know how many they review in a year, but
Oh my
yeah,
god, a
they're always
lot.
getting new
Yeah, they're
phones.
always getting new phones. They're always switching phones.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, if we had that, then I guess we can be more picky, but
But
we don't have those options, right? So
yeah, but again, not a lot of and like hopefully people listen to this. But
if
not
they
like
got this long,
yeah, but people who listen to this are probably not tech tubers either. Like they don't have that much money to spend, or like companies aren't sending them money to review stuff. So if you're getting a phone, if you listen to this and you're getting a phone and your phone doesn't have IPS rating, first off, your phone shouldn't even be going in the water in the first place.
yeah, when are you gonna use it? Like in the rain, I guess, but
I
that's about it.
guess, but like your phone still should like be able to handle some splashes of water.
Yeah, that brings up the story, but we're probably going a little long, so I won't say it.
Okay, save it for another day. I'll write that
Yeah, I'll save
down.
it.
What was
'Cause
it?
it goes like with the work, and I know you wanted to do like a work talk, so
Work talk, and then I'll say plus story.
yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I won't keep you anymore. Is there anything you want to say before we go, Matthew?
No, is there anything else you want to bring up? Like, this is fun. Like,
Yeah,
thanks
yeah,
for
yeah.
having me,
Obvious.
and
Yes, of course. And then hopefully next time we can have Jimmy come on the show. We'll discuss some more, like some stuff. I want to go into the MCU now that we actually have some time before
Oh yeah.
the next movie is released or whatever, right? So we'll bring Jimmy back on, but he's not available to do that today. Maybe next week.
Okay. Let me know.
But yeah, Matthew, thank you for coming on to Let's Talk Fam. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day and discussing phones with me and a bit more stuff.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun. Had
Yeah,
a
man.
blast.
Yeah, and then yeah, thanks again for coming on, and I'll hope everything's okay. Like obviously, stay safe, stay home if you don't have to go out.
Yeah, you too. Like just try and we'll get through this. Just try and stay home, stay safe,
Mm-hmm. And
and
then
don't be bored.
just don't be bored. Oh, you can binge watch all my videos. There's a lot.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Yes,
I
yes, you
I
should.
watched a couple last night. It was pretty fun.
Yes, okay, thank you. But you should also be studying to keep your grades up.
Yeah, it was a Friday night. Don't worry, I have nothing
Oh,
else
that's
to
true. You got nothing to do this entire month, so.
do. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So Matthew, again, thanks for coming on. We'll obviously still keep in touch during the week and just seeing how
Yeah.
things are going, and then I'll have you back on. Like you said, we have a lot of work stories that we can tell. Hopefully, Jimmy is down to do some
Share
of
a
that as
couple.
well. Don't worry, names and locations will be changed for confidentiality reasons, so don't worry
Yeah.
about that.
Don't worry.
And then
I don't even remember their names, to be honest.
it's okay. I can also just blur it out during editing.
Okay.
But yeah, like wow, this farewell has been dragging on.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew. I'll catch you. I'll see you. Oh, well, I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right, thanks,
All right.
buddy.
See you long.
See ya.